Hi, welcome to Bears Illustrated. I'm here with 2023 Baylor commit safety Cory Huff from Houston. Cory, thanks for doing this.
Thank you for having me.
For sure. So, you grew up a Baylor fan, right?
Yes, sir.
Was your family also Baylor fans?
My family honestly were more into like Oregon and LSU.
Gotcha. What does your family think of you deciding to play at Baylor?
Well, they all love Baylor, but as far as me making the decision, my mom, my dad, they all feel like it was a good decision. But at the end of the day, they always just told me, "It's your choice." So
Gotcha. When did you start believing and hoping that you would be able to play at Baylor?
I went up there. I started seeing them on Twitter. It was real live. Then I went on 3 game visits before they offered. And when I went to the first one, it was just like, it kind of opened my eyes. Like, this is really where I want to be. So I kept going, and they finally pulled that trigger.
Gotcha. What was the conversation like when they finally decided to offer you? And what was your reaction?
I was shocked, but I wasn't shocked. I knew it was coming. I just didn't know that day at that time when they called me. I wasn't even supposed to be on my phone because I was at basketball practice, but my coach let me talk because I told him I was on the phone with Baylor. So I kind of expected it, but I didn't expect it at that time. I was shocked. It seemed unreal.
How long did it take you to decide to commit to Baylor?
It took me about a month. I
Okay.
knew that I wanted to go, but to commit as a junior, it kind of took me about a month.
What was that process like of you thinking about what school you wanted to go to and then deciding?
I had a lot of people in my ear telling me not to commit. I had a lot of people in my ear telling me to commit. I had to just, settle down, think to myself. I just had to make sure this is where I wanted to be in my future. This is where I wanted to progress in life. That was what I came up with.
What was it that made you decide that Baylor was where you wanted to commit?
Being around the coaches and talking to the coaches, Coach Aranda, Coach Collins, Coach Reed, it seems as Baylor is more than football, where they can help you succeed in life as a person, not only on the football field, but in the real world also.
Was it things they said or just how they acted around you? What was it that made you feel like that?
I just felt the vibe. The vibe was kind of real. Plus, Baylor is a Christian school.
Hmm.
I grew up a Christian in the church, so
So, how do you feel about going to a school that is Christian and kind of has that Christian atmosphere on the team?
I feel good. I really feel like they're gonna help me better myself on the football field and off.
Okay. What's your relationship like with Coach Collins?
Coach Collins, I talk to him throughout. I talk to him every week throughout the week. It's just real. We don't always talk about football. We just small talk.
Gotcha. Just building that relationship.
Yes, sir. That's how it really is with all the coaches. Like I talked to Coach Aranda yesterday morning. He texted me and said good morning. We went from there.
Gotcha. So you've also been getting other offers since you've committed. How do you feel about getting those offers?
Those offers, they give me a lot to think about being so young, but at the end of every day, I always feel the same. Baylor is where I want to go.
Gotcha. Have you talked to the Baylor coaches about those other offers that you've been getting?
I talked to Coach Wee about some of the same questions. How you feel about him, and I give him the same answers. Yeah, like I just picked up Arkansas about a week ago. That was my first SEC offer, but I'm proud for myself. It felt unreal, but
Uh-huh.
it was just I feel Baylor. Baylor is where I want to be.
Got it. Let's turn to some questions about on the field. Where do you think you fit in with this defense?
I think I fit in that nickel spot for that strong safety where I can come down, make plays in the box, and also cover.
Gotcha. Have you talked to any of the current defensive backs on the team?
I have talked to I talked to Jalen Petrie before the draft during the season. I talked to JT Woods,
Uh-huh.
but that was during the season, and I forgot his name. But they just got a DB out of Florida who went up there early, and I've been talking to him on Instagram quite frequently.
Okay. Have any of those conversations kind of enhanced the way you think about Baylor, or did they affect your decision?
Mm, Not really, but they talk good about Baylor, but the guy from Florida, he tell me the good and the bad, but that's exactly what I need to hear.
Hmm.
So, but like I said, man, Baylor is where I want to be.
Yeah. When you say the good and the bad, what would those things be?
Well, the good it's all good, but the bad would really I would consider the bad as like transitions as to high school and college. It's not really bad, but it's just things that I have to go through that I don't go through usually.
Gotcha.
Like things like having a busy schedule, having to be on time or before on time. See, like at my school is really not like that.
Oh, okay. Do you have an idea of how you're gonna make that transition or make it easier?
Um, I have to start a little bit earlier, but I feel like when I get in college and I'm around all those people, everyone's doing the right thing. I won't be forced to do the right thing, but and myself, I'm gonna want to do the right thing.
So would the right thing just be like being on time, making sure you do everything you have to do?
Making sure I'm on time, studying, going all my classes, making sure I'm on top of everything.
Have the coaches talked to you about that transition?
Um, they talked to me a little bit about it, but not recent.
What about how you fit into the defense? Have they talked to you about that, or what kind of role they see you playing?
Well, well, not the first day, but like the second game visit, I went up there. JT Woods and Jalen Peach. I walked in there, and I think Coach Blanchard is that he told me he was just like, watch number 8 and number 22 because that's where you're gonna be playing at. And I was just like, yes, sir. And at that time, I didn't know who Jalen Petrie had caught a pick that game. I think they played against West Virginia. He caught a pick that game, and JT had a good game too.
Are there any aspects of their games that you try to take and implement into your game?
Jalen Petrie, he's like everything he do is fast, and his head is always on the swivel. Like he always knows what's going on around him.
Okay,
I would, I like to add that. Sometimes I kind of lock in, not really get caught in the moment, but I'll lock into the wrong things.
what are some aspects of your game that you're working on right now in the off season?
Okay, I ran a 4.5, but I'm still trying to get faster. I'm trying to get my feet right. It's just little aspects of the game that you can never really perfect them in some way, but it's just little aspects of the game that I forever work on.
Got it. What would you tell Baylor fans they're getting in Cory Huff as a safety?
As a safety, I would tell Baylor fans that they're getting an athlete, a student athlete that will always work hard, will fight for what he wants, and will never give up.
What do you see as your vision for the Baylor football team when you join?
I can see myself playing young, and I can see myself producing. Baylor, they just won the Big 12. I can see us continuing to do so also.
Do you think about those kind of things, big things like winning the Big 12, making the college football playoff, or just try to focus on yourself and your own game?
I kind of try to focus on myself, and I feel like if I do that, then all other things will fall in line.
Would there be anything else that you'd want Baylor fans to know?
No, sir. Sick.
Sick 'em.